Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is our task for today. You will now need to locate your essay planner that we turned in yesterday, so 33A, and it should be completely filled out. Introduction, supporting paragraph 1, supporting paragraph 2, and your conclusion. As you can see, I filled it all out as well. The more that you have here, the better organized and easier writing your rough draft is going to be. What we're going to do today is we are going to write our rough draft, okay? First, let's explore what our actual topic and task is again. So what we're going to do is this is our end of module task. So this is our final explanatory and informative essay based off of Chief Joseph's Lincoln Hall speech. Okay, so we are looking at some of his beliefs and values to which he delivered to members of the U.S. government after his surrender at Bear Paw. Okay, so we're thinking about what important Nez Perce beliefs and values guide Chief Joseph's powerful words in his speech. So for an audience we're writing this for, who has actually studied and read his speech, you're going to write an essay to explain how his speech conveys two important beliefs and values. So if we looked here, we chose 2 points and values that we thought he talked about in his speech. We're going to develop our ideas with evidence from the speech, so 29A, his Lincoln Hall speech. Again, if you need to reference that, you should have that with 29A because you will need to say where you got information. So this is what your paragraph should include. So we're going to start writing this. Some of it we've already got the basis for, and you are going to take your information and put it into a lovely paragraph form and change anything a little bit that you might need to. It should have an introduction that has background and context for your topic, so it should talk about the Lincoln Hall speech. It should include a thesis, so what are your 2 values or beliefs that are supported in there? It should have 2 supporting paragraphs, so 1 on each of the value or belief that we talked about. And it should, in each paragraph, include evidence, so quotes from his Lincoln Hall speech or a summary, and you should elaborate on it. So we have our topic sentence, our evidence, and our elaboration, so our 2C. It should also include some transitions. And finally, it should have a conclusion paragraph. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, okay? It should also have correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. So this is what I did. What I did first is I took, and I have this next to me, all my information, and I literally copied and pasted it into Notability, okay? Or I started typing it up, okay? So I have my beginning question, you can see here. What would you say about your family if you got to talk to the President of the United States? So I put it here. I put some of my background information here. I put down my topic and my thesis. If you notice, so this was just my introduction area. So I copied it and put it here. Then what I did is I looked at my second paragraph and I put everything in here. So I put my topic statement, my evidence, and my elaboration, and finally I have my concluding statement. Okay. I then press tab and I have my information for paragraph 2. So I talked about how people should be free. So I have my intro, my topic statement. I have my evidence. I haven't quoted it yet. I just kind of copied it in. I have my elaboration and a little bit of transitioning, my conclusion statement. Finally, I put here another tab and my information. So I put my thesis and my own opinion. Then what I need to do is I need to take this, and it's kind of in a paragraph form, but a lot of it isn't in sentences. And so what I need to do is I need to change some of this so that it makes more sense and is more of a sentence and a paragraph. So I started out, I can see, because I copied everything, I don't need that essay anymore. And I really do like that I put this in a nice question. I wrote this out really nice. What would you say about your family if you got to talk to the President of the United States? I have all this information, this background information that I thought might be important. So what I decided I'm going to do is maybe, I'm going to put it in here, but in better sentences, because these are not sentences. This is just information. So I'm going to write, Chief Joseph, the leader of the Nez Perce, he, and actually I'm going to make this all bigger, so that way we can see it. So I actually changed it. So instead of saying, oh, I'll call the Lincoln Hall speech, talked about Congress, I went, Chief Joseph, the leader of the Nez Perce, went to Washington, D.C., so I put that in here, to talk to the representatives there, about his experiences in what is now considered the Lincoln Hall speech. So I talked about that it was called the Lincoln Hall speech. He talked to Congress, and he talked on behalf of the Native Americans. Okay, so I included this because I talked about Chief Joseph, and I said he's the leader of Nez Perce. So I took it and I put that stuff together into two very nice sentences. Now, I've got, these are my thesis statement, and I need to put these things together. I'm going to say, he describes, I forgot to, I was going to put in what he did with his speech, so a little bit more background information. So there he describes his experiences with beliefs and values. Okay. I have Chief Joseph has very important beliefs and values for his tribe. So I'm going to re-say that and say, in his speech, because we're talking about his speech, he includes some very important beliefs and values for his tribe. So I pretty much just said that in a little bit better way. And these are my 2 points. So everyone is equal in being honest. Wow, that's not a complete sentence. I need to rewrite that so that that is a complete sentence. 2 values and beliefs, I thought, 2 values and beliefs were really shown. I have that twice. Were really shown in his speech about how everyone is equal and should be treated that way, and being honest is important. So I put this into some lovely complete sentences, and it makes a lot more sense. Look at it is now a complete paragraph. I've got, and if I double check what I wrote on my notability, my topic statement, I have some background. I have some background. I have, I have my hook. I have some background, some introduction. I talked about my important essential idea and the 2 things I'm going to talk about. So now I need to organize what I have written here. I have my topic statement. I already had this in a nice topic statement there, so I don't need to change it too much. I would recommend rereading it and changing it if you need to. Now, the first thing that he says is, I remember all the good words and the broken promises. So I'm going to actually put that into quotes because I didn't put that into quotes there. So I wrote, I remember all the good words and broken promises. And if you notice, I put all of my quotes together here and then all my elaboration separate. So that means I need to put my elaboration for this here. So I need to reorganize how I put my stuff together. So then I said, actually, I also wanted to include this quote. So I have 2 quotes here. Chief Joseph says, I remember all the good words and broken promises. There are a lot of broken promises expecting unrealistic ideas. And like I said, I put them in quotes and then what page or what paragraph I found them in. So number 4 or number 6. Then I talked about my elaboration. Same thing. I'm going to make sure I quote my next bit of evidence, and I have my elaboration that I had written in complete sentences in my guide, and so I'm going to just reorganize it. Then I have my concluding statement. Okay. Before I say I'm done, I would reread this one more time because I put a whole bunch of it together, and I would recommend reading it out loud. So if you notice, my word is telling me I've got some little bit of errors. So I've got some errors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it out loud and listen for errors. And can I change things? Okay. We're going to do this more tomorrow. Then I'm going to work on paragraph 2. I have my first quote. Okay. I need to put this in some quotes. Oops, I'm deleting whole sentences. So number 8 is usually what page it goes on is at the very end. So quotes, parentheses, paragraph 8. Oops. Then, like I said, I put my elaboration in the second part, so I need to reorganize it. This one goes with my first quote. This one goes with my second quote. And then I have my elaboration and my concluding sentence. Finally, because I wrote most of my conclusion in complete sentences, I need to just put my final conclusion together. I think it's easier to notice the difference between where my paragraph starts and ends by putting a tab and putting a space in between. So I have written my rough draft. Originally, it was separate like this, and I copied and pasted it and reorganized it and made sure that I put my information in complete sentences. So this is what you had to do today. Please make sure that you submit this lovely paragraph form. This is not your final draft, but please submit this in Schoology now under my rough draft of end of module essay.